The presenting sponsor of Moontower Soccer is FVF Law.
To find out what makes FVF a different kind of injury law firm, you can visit fvf.law.
Hello, friends, and welcome to Swoontower Soccer. I'm Steph Cragnola.
And I'm Mike Cragnola.
And today, like every day, we are all about the boys.
Speaking of, we got a new boy alert. That's right. So coming to us from the frozen north of Frisco, by way of the even frozener north of Toronto.
Oh, that's frozen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We've got Matt Hedges coming to us here.
Yeah, we do.
Big, tall, starting center back, probably.
Tall.
Yeah,
He
real
is
tall.
tall. How tall is Julio?
Like 6'1",
Really?
maybe?
How tall is Kippy?
6'1", 6'2"?
Yeah, I mean, I was just really surprised that Matt Hedges is 6'4". It just felt so much taller than anyone on our team has any right to be.
Yeah. He also just looks much taller. I think it's the squareness of his head.
Yeah, you know who he looks like is Jane from Firefly, but like taller and thinner. So like
Sure.
if you took a picture of Jane and like smushed it from the sides in, you know, so it's stretchy.
Yeah. I think he looks like okay, you might be able to help me because you love cards, right?
Like like greeting cards.
Yeah.
I love greeting cards.
Yeah. So what's the step below Hallmark?
Like the Target brand or like the CVS brand of card.
Sure. Yeah.
There is one of those. Gosh, what are they called? They're the
Shoebox.
cheap ones. Shoebox, yeah.
Yeah. Matt Hedges reminds me of if there were shoebox holiday movies, he would be like the farmhand. You know what I mean? For the big time city lawyer lady who like comes back to her roots. Matt Hedges would be the guy that reminds her of family and the meaning of Christmas.
The shoebox rom-com. That's really funny. If you guys like cards, you should follow Ralph Tyndall on TikTok. He's an Austin card maker, and his cards are really good. Also, my birthday's next week, and I love cards.
Just putting that out there? You're just sharing that on the internet?
I'm just letting all of our friends know.
Great. Yeah, you can also get Ethan Finley a card for the same day.
Yeah, you could double up. You could get a card for me and Ethan, and we can do rock, paper, scissors over who gets to keep it. Y'all, all I want for my birthday this year is for Ethan Finley to acknowledge that we share a birthday.
Yeah, it's pretty desperate.
Yeah.
She told the club president that at a press conference.
Speaking of a press conference, that is the next thing on our agenda today. We were so grateful to be invited to a press conference where they announced that 50 of the Austin Pets Alive mascots of the match have been adopted since the program started.
Yeah, that's pretty big number, 50.
Yeah.
We also, in the midst of talking to the APA people and the Austin FC people there, they let us know that doesn't also include the number of people who were like, oh, I saw that APA and y'all had a partnership, and so we went to APA to adopt a dog. Or, I really wanted to adopt Corn, but Corn was already adopted, and so we got this other dog that looks a little bit like Corn but isn't.
The shoebox version of Corn.
Yeah. And so I think that's a really cool thing. I think it's really neat that the mayor's office celebrated it with an official proclamation.
Yeah.
Celebrating Austin FC Mascot of the Match Day.
Yeah, so July 14th is not just Danny Pereira's birthday. It's not just Kip Keller's birthday.
No.
It's not just my dad's birthday.
No.
Also, it is official honorary Mascot of the Match Day.
Pretty big news. Also at that Mascot of the Match press conference event, we got to do some interviews.
Yeah, we did.
Not only did we get to interview two real people, we also got to interview a dog.
Yeah, Otis was the mascot of the match for Sporting Kansas City, but we got a sneak peek interview because we were there and Otis was there, and let's just let Otis tell you his story.
Hey, we are here with Otis.
Hi, Otis.
Otis, thank you so much for being the mascot of the match today. Listen, bud, I was wondering, who is the best smelling member of the... Oh! An answer right away. Okay.
All right. And if you could shake hands with any of our Austin FC boys, which one would it be?
Yeah, us too. We gotta know, right?
Yeah.
All right, Otis, we need to get from you a listo verde real quick.
Thank you,
boy,
Otis.
thank you. So cute.
Otis is deaf and blind.
And amazing.
And when he came up the aisle in the press conference, like when he came in, the way that he just snuggled every single person sitting on the aisle, like rubbed his head up against legs and really did that thing where he rests his head real heavy on your leg because he just needs to support his head up because it's so big and long.
Yeah. It was so cute watching him navigate his space and really on his own, really impressively.
Yeah. Otis is the best.
Yeah. If you are looking for an adorable snuggle pup, Otis is your man.
1,000 snuggles out of 10.
Yes. We also got to interview Dr. Ellen Jefferson, the president and CEO of Austin Pets Alive, and Andy Loughnane, the president of Austin FC. Should we just jump to those interviews back to back?
Yeah, let's jump in back to back. Equally good information from both.
Yeah.
So we just kind of wanted to know how you go about choosing which dogs get picked for the mascot. If there's a certain vibe that you're looking for in the dog, or a certain characteristic that you think would make them stand out in the stadium.
Well, when we're trying to pick a dog as the honorary mascot, we're looking for a dog that can handle the crowd. So that is already narrows the field down because a lot of our dogs are coming to us as super scareties and coming to something like this would just blow their minds. So that's a big thing. And then we also try to find some that maybe have been looked over and haven't been adopted for a while, like Otis. I just found out has been with us for 4 months in that foster home. And he has great photos on the internet. He's a beautiful dog, but he has a disability that is making him a little bit harder to get into a home. I think this is going to do the trick, though. So that's kind of the criteria we're looking for, is a dog that just needs an extra hand and can handle this.
Cool. And in general, what is the best way for someone who may already be fostering with Austin Pets Alive or something like that, and they want to get involved with the Mascot of the Match program?
So the best thing to do is contact Susie Chase on our team. She is our liaison with Austin FC. She comes to almost every match. She's usually the one picking with our teams, our operations teams, which dog to bring. And so she's always looking for suggestions. So if we have fosters out there that feel like their dog has been overlooked and could handle the chaos, then she's the one to contact. Susie.chase@austinpetsalive.org.
Perfect. And then if we have folks who are not fostering Austin Pets Alive dogs but want to get involved with the program, want to volunteer or support, what are the ways that they can support the program?
We're always looking for help bringing dogs to the stadium and helping to shepherd them around and be able to introduce them on the field. Sometimes Susie needs a break. So we're looking for people. The downside is you have to leave before the game starts. So it's a special person that is very dog oriented to help take that work with Susie to make that happen. But she could definitely use the help. That's probably the biggest thing. And then promoting them, I think helping them, the dogs that are coming here, just helping to spread the word about how amazing they are, because I think a lot of people probably see a dog and they don't read the fine print, but of course people like you are helping to get the word out. That's wonderful.
And so one last question. Sure. We were just wondering if you could tell us about one of your favorite Austin FC Mascot of the Match success stories.
Well, absolutely, without a doubt, it's Kenneth. He is a dog that was with us for a long time. He was in and out of homes because he had severe separation anxiety. And that is a condition that dogs have that makes it so they can't be alone ever, or they kind of lose their minds and stress out and have a kind of destroy things. But it's not out of being bad, it's just them being anxious. And so he was really struggling to find a home that could accommodate that, where they could be with him 24/7. And because of this program, somebody came forward who ran a home for women, and he now lives in a group therapy setting where he's around women 100% of the time. He also loves women more than men, no offense, but
I get it.
and he's living the best life. Like, it's just the perfect setting. And, you know, we believe in our hearts that every dog has a home like that, and he found it because of being able to be broadcast out to the world through this.
That's so great. Thank you so much. Speaking of, how long will the Austin Pets Alive Austin FC Mascot of the Match program continue?
A long time, as far as I'm concerned.
Say 100 years.
It's the 100-year dog war? Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Perfect.
All right, there you go, 100 years.
And then also, Steph had a question for you as well.
I can't.
You won't do it?
I
All
won't
right,
do
I'm
it.
ready.
All right. Steph's question was, she wants to know, what is your favorite snack to eat just before going out to play?
I'm a healthy snack guy, so, you know, a mixed fruit assortment.
Perfect.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Andy.
Thank you so much to Ellen and to Andy for being so willing to talk to us. This program has brought us so much joy personally, and I feel like it's done so much for just the Austin community in general. So really, really happy to be a part of it.
I do have to say, there were some nonverbal indicators from Andy's answer that made me question whether that information provided was true.
Listen, fruits is pretty general.
You're right. God, what a fun event.
Yeah, it was really great. Thank you so much to Susie Chase for thinking of us and having us there.
Yeah. And then was it the next day?
It was the next day.
We got to come back to the stadium again
Yeah.
for Sporting Kansas City.
Yeah, so we're in our Fit Checks version of the episode of this podcast, and I just have to say that I feel like the Sporting Kansas City whole walk of fashion was targeted against me.
Wow.
I'm just saying how I feel. Every single person was wearing khakis.
That's not true.
Everyone.
That's not true.
And weird khakis too. I'm sorry, but Seba had Louis Vuitton embossed stamps on his khakis. I didn't even like Julio's khakis. I like everything Julio does, but I was not even a fan of his khakis. And Brad and a whole khaki shirt. Listen. We ran into the Stuvers at the stadium after the match, and it was so good to see them. So much fun. We got to meet Brad's brother and his wife, and I got to see Brad's parents again, and it's joyful as ever. But Brad's mom did let me know that she warned him against khaki,
Yep.
and he didn't even listen to his mom.
Nope.
So
I want to say, though, I love the neckline on Maxi's t-shirt. I don't know what it is. It's insane.
Maxi's the only person not wearing khaki, and I don't know what this outfit is.
It's awesome.
It's
It's
white
so crazy.
ripped leggings and a black oversized t-shirt, and
I love that he's wearing platform shoes too, because
Yep.
he's one of the taller dudes on the team.
Yep.
And he's like, yeah, but what if I had an extra 2 inches?
yeah, it is a look. And
Yeah.
are they leopard?
Or
sneakers?
cheetah? I don't know animals. I don't know. It's a big cat, y'all.
Yeah, he's got big cat shoes.
He's got big cat shoes. Big cat energy coming from Maxi this week. I am into it though. And circle sunglasses.
Yeah,
3 out of 4 circle sunglasses
I
on
know.
this post. Just saying.
yeah. Well, luckily we got some improvement in the Leagues Cup fit check area. Mostly because everything's in black and white, so I can't tell if anyone's wearing khaki or not. They could be, but I won't know because it's just headshots and also black and white. So love this series. The one thing that I think is a little unfair is that they included this picture of Julio along with everyone else. Like, just to be fair to everyone else, they should have just taken this photo out or done or just put it in its own post.
Sure. I think they should have just hung it in the Louvre. But that's just me. This is a great photo of Julio.
It's incredible.
I will say the one person that I am very disappointed in is Ethan Finley in this look. The like quarter zip shirt.
It is a zipper.
Man,
Oh
like
no.
some things should have died in 2005 and never come back.
I didn't even notice.
How could you not?
I was too busy looking at the pattern on his shirt.
The pattern's the only like saving grace.
Yeah, that's why I wasn't like hating it. But now,
So I will say that this doesn't surprise me at all. And I'm just disappointed.
oh gosh.
He can make up for it though by wishing you a happy birthday.
Yeah. Oh man. Okay. Let's move on to our match moods.
Sure.
We took a lot of notes.
Yeah, this
during
game
Kansas
was
City.
a fun game.
Yeah. Yeah, it was really good. It started poorly. I think
Yes, very quickly.
that Danny went down and then Saba went down shortly after. But one thing that I thought was, I don't know if funny is the right word because it's an
Because it was
indication of injury. But like when Danny went down and they brought the med team out and had like the kit with the magic spray in it, Saba just like took it and started to go to town on himself with it. And I think that obviously seeing what happened.
Yeah, this note says Saba spraying his own butt with magic spray.
Yeah, well, it looked like his butt. So.
Turns out it was hamstring.
Yeah.
Pretty close.
Close to his butt. I wish that it had not been a notable moment because the result of that was a bummer.
Yeah, sad. What was not sad, though, Ethan, so spicy. So spicy. So upset about not getting the right call on a throw-in that he went and petulantly kicked the ball off the stand there.
But he did it with like a little heel kick.
Yep.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, so good.
The spiciest he's ever been. It's like the Minnesota, like adding black pepper to a dish.
But like a genuinely spicy move.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, it would be like, I feel like it's like sneaking like drops of capsaicin into the casserole.
Oof.
You know?
Yeah.
Nobody sees it coming and then bam.
Yeah, hits you. I loved it. I also loved, you know how when you're walking on a sidewalk
Yes.
and you're clumsy, so you trip, but then you, my dear listeners, my friends, my pals, you know how when you're walking along a sidewalk and
Yes.
you're clumsy, so you trip, but then you look back and like somehow the curb has just jumped up and tripped you maliciously. Like it has to have been something in the sidewalk that made you trip. Nick Lima did that in the middle of the game. He like slipped. And as he's running, he just kept checking back to like, I don't know, see if the grass was broken, raised up.
Head groundskeeper Weston would never.
No, but I just thought it was a really like relatable move.
See, the trick to that, Steph, is you never look back. You know that the ground came up and tripped you.
Oh,
And you just never look back to give it the satisfaction.
got it. All right.
Then you're not clumsy. It's the
Okay.
ground's fault. And you
Okay.
know it's the ground's fault.
Yeah.
I don't need to check. Every time I trip, I know what happened. So this note here, I think speaks to a lot of what we're hearing from the players this year is that like there are a lot of captains on this team.
Yeah.
And whoever wears the armband doesn't necessarily matter as much as making sure that the leaders on the team are leading.
Yep.
And the note says, Julio taking care of everyone when they're down.
Anytime anyone was down, Julio was the first person there, checking on them, like leaning over them, making sure they're good. And it just was such a noticeable pattern.
Yeah. It was a really nice moment to like pick up on that. Like And this is something that we hear from time and time again from players within the team. And actually, Brad Stuver mentions it this week as well at a KUT Considers event that we'll talk about a little bit later. But that, like, the team knows that everybody's got their own roles to play in leadership. And I think that's really fun and cool.
Yeah. What's Nick Lima's role?
Honestly, Nick Lima, I think, is starting to get pretty spicy.
Being spicy, yeah.
I really loved this moment where at one point he got tangled up with an SKC player. That player ended up on the ground and held out a hand asking Nick Lima to help pick him up. Nick slaps his hand, turns around, and walks away. Dude stays on the ground. Just... mwah.
There was a lot of that kind of energy from our boys this match. And I think obviously the frustration of two of our incredible players going out must have been bubbling, but it was kind of fun to watch.
And I think in general, the Austin SKC relationship is one of pretty fierce competition, right? Like, in the pre-match video for this, there was a lot of talk around how we went there and they embarrassed us, right? And that was the low point of the season for our team, was that match in Kansas City. And so I think the team came out ready to fight, and you saw it in all of their behavior.
Yeah, absolutely. Something fun and good. Rodney obviously came into the match. Obviously. And we were, in our normal seats and doing our normal cheering for Rodney. And one time he got fouled horribly, dangerously.
Offensively. How dare they?
And I did my usual, he's just a little boy, yell, scream. And from 2 rows in front of us, we just hear craniolas and a head turns.
Yeah. We've got a brand, I think, is what we're discovering. Long turned around and was celebrating our boy, and we gave high fives, and it was fun to meet. It was fun to meet Long. So that was a cool event.
Yeah, cool little moment, but I really loved the, brand just like really being secure there.
Yeah.
No one else could possibly be cheering this loud for Rodney.
I will say that hands down the coolest thing happened after we won this match, though. There was a little boy in 108 who, that's the section where everybody runs down to try and get autographs from players and stuff after the games from the visiting team, because they have to walk next to our section and that section to get into their dressing room. And so this little boy is giving all these players high fives and celebrating with his best friend every time he gets one. And Steph, you saw this play out. I would love for you to give me the play-by-play.
So Ted Uncle walks by and he holds out his hand for a high five. And Ted Uncle goes to high five this kid, and he does the swoop and through his hair move. And Ted Uncle was so upset. He literally stopped walking and looked at the kid and didn't know what to say. And it's like his brain glitched for a second before he just turned around and walked back through the tunnel. But he was so mad. He was so upset. And this kid was laughing so hard. And it was the funniest thing I've ever seen.
It's so good.
There's a lot to be said for screaming about refs through the game and chanting ref whatever. This child was the perfect way to actually show a ref that you are upset with their performance. And so let that be a lesson to you all. We don't need the chanting. They know it. They'll block it out. They can't hear it. But this visibly upset Ted Uncle. So take notes.
Yeah. Every time you see him, fake him out with a handshake. Do whatever move you've got. Just pretend to be nice. He'll be apparently caught off guard.
Really upset.
Honorable mention also to Johnny Russell, again applauding the supporter section as he left the field. That's a dude who really understands that, like, you play the heel for 90 minutes and then, like, appreciate the atmosphere of the places that you're in.
Yep.
And, like, what a cool guy.
Yeah. All right. Want to talk about the positives from Mazatlan?
I want to talk about... Yeah, I guess we can go into Mazatlan now. So, like...
It'll be brief.
Boy, will it. I want to talk about Verdissimo getting a part-time job.
Right.
I'm just really proud of the dude. He's out there hustling. You know, people say that nobody
God.
wants to work anymore.
Oh, Jesus
And I
Christ.
want to tell you all that we know this isn't true because our man Verdissimo out in the streets doing body slams, wearing masks, showing up at events, and then when it comes game time, not only is he running around the stands cheering, like trying to get the Captain Morgan Club people to start singing along, he's also out in the center circle clearing off that Q2 parachute.
I really was hoping that they would start playing Sharks and Minnows, and that Verdissimo would be the shark and try to get all of the minnows under the parachute.
Sharks and luchas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He body
new game.
slams a shark in the middle of the field, and everybody like loses their minds.
Yeah, I think that would be really good.
Yeah, Verdissimo, if you're listening, body slam a shark next time. Yeah. Thank you.
Oh gosh, that would be awesome. Okay, you know what's not awesome?
No.
And this is like a gentle word of we're calling in CJ Faudré. We're not calling him out.
Yeah, we're calling him in.
We're calling him in for a haircut. It is a choice. And I am all about a choice, but it's kind of like I feel like I see what CJ is going for. It's that Jesus Ferreira mullet hawk, right? That really thick mohawk that goes down to the sides and is longer in the back. CJ, I have got the perfect barber for you. If you follow Cassie Cuts Weird on Instagram, that's Cassie, Cassy, Cuts Weird, she'll hook you up. She'll give you the perfect cut. It won't look like a weird floppy mushroom on the top of your head.
I gotta say, Steph sent me this Insta, and it is fire. If anyone is looking for that cut, Cassie is... it says Cuts Weird, but looks like she's cutting good.
Yeah, I feel like, Cassie, you should change your handle to Cassie Cuts Great. Cassie Cuts are the best.
But keep it Cassie Cuts Weird for at least the next 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Because that's what we're putting in this episode. But yeah, man, like...
Oh, it's something.
It's wild. I gotta say, like, maybe he's in the same situation I was before I cut my mohawk, where the back isn't long enough to do a real mohawk, but also you're tired of all the hair on your ears. And if that's the case, I get it. I've been there. Like 3 weeks ago, I was there.
I will counter with you did a cut that still looked okay. You solved your problem and didn't look like CJ's.
I wore a hat,
choice.
CJ, but you're not allowed
Have
to.
you considered a hat?
You're not allowed to do that on the pitch unless you're a goalie, I think, is the rule.
They can wear hats?
They used to be able to wear hats. In the
Ooh.
90s, they had these big, long-brimmed, MLS
Brad,
style.
wear a hat.
Brad, don't wear a hat.
Wear a Barbie visor, like a Ken visor with the
so that
Malibu
we can
Stew
still
kit.
see his hair. Yeah. Smart.
Yeah.
Speaking of Brad,
Speaking of Brad.
you take the first one, I'll take the second one.
Yeah, so we talked in just with the last game a lot about the multiple captains on this team, and Julio was appointed captain for this game. And there was a moment where a penalty wasn't called, should have been, and Julio did not let up. Julio argued for that penalty and got the review. He really, I don't know what it was, but like the way that he pushed the ref into looking at this in VAR, it was just kind of cool to watch him like make his argument and push the ref into heading over to the monitor to check it. And then he would have kept going.
Yeah, Brad definitely had the right call of like pulling him back there. But you could tell after the match that Brad was feeling the same frustration that Julio was. He seemed angry.
Yeah.
After the final whistle.
Yeah, it's the most emotional I've ever seen him. And I think that it's not good because it's never good. But there was something really like not endearing. I don't know. There was something so like
relatable.
I just wanted to give him a hug. And like they're so for as composed as these players are, typically, like seeing him crack in that moment was really sad. And it kind of made me less upset about losing and more upset for how they were feeling.
Sure. Yeah. I get that.
I don't know the right word to put to that, but that's like the emotion behind it.
It definitely made me want to sing True Love louder watching that. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
That was the feeling that I have, is to like remind the boys that we've got their backs.
Yeah.
So can we talk about nice things now?
Yeah, we're going to talk about nice things. We're going to talk about Celly ratings, and
Let's
we
go.
have got some good ones this cycle.
Yeah, we do.
All right, so we'll start with Sporting Kansas City. Jossie did his little finger point up, his couple fist bumps. It was too hot even to like fist jump.
God, it was so hot.
It was so hot. I'm going to give it like, it's like a 7 out of 10.
You know, this is a heat dependent 9.5 for me.
All
you
right.
know,
Fair. It was fine. Then, Ethan Finley, celebrating his 300th appearance in MLS. Very exciting match for him. Doesn't this guy score a goal, run to our corner with his hands on his ears to hear the crowd more, and then do a knee slide straight into my soul?
Yeah, it was a decent length on the knee side. Like, you know, when you hit the ground and like keep going, it was all right.
It was more than all right.
It was definitely the most exciting Ethan Finley goal celebration we've seen yet.
It was a 12 out of 10.
And because it was the most exciting Ethan Finley goal celebration I've seen yet, this is a 9.5 for me.
Oh, God, it was so good. Never change it. Ethan, if you're listening, happy birthday next week. And also, always do that, Celly. But always do it into 107. So, like, even if you're scoring at the opposite end, I just want you to do a full field run and then, like, pump that knee slide into our corner.
Wow.
I'm just saying.
We also got a goal in the Mazatlan Leagues Cup match.
Yeah.
And this one is maybe my favorite goal celebration of the year.
Yeah.
It is the most personality in a goal celebration I think we've seen.
It's definitely the most, like, cheeky.
Yeah, I was going to say it's the most,
Petulant.
like, this is a dude from Massachusetts.
Yeah. Both of those words track.
Yeah. So Diego gets a penalty to even the game up at 1-1. And as he is wheeling away celebrating, he turns back to the keeper and waggles his fingers at him in a way that is very clearly not giving the double birds, but also is very clearly giving the double birds.
It was like the full intention.
Yeah, you could read exactly what it was, and like it was just so funny and perfect and like, oh, so good.
11 out of 10 for both implied middle fingers.
Yeah. I will give a what is the 4.75 per implied middle finger for a 9.5? Is that math? Does that work?
Gosh.
You know what I'm trying to do.
Let's do an ad break.
Moontower Soccer is brought to you by our friends at FVF Law, the official injury lawyers of Austin FC.
We're Swoontower.
We're also brought to you by our friends at FVF Law, the official injury lawyers of Austin FC.
FVF is a different kind of personal injury law firm dedicated to community transparency and client education.
You can go to fbf.law to find out what makes FVF a different kind of injury law firm and why understanding your legal options can dramatically change the outcome of a case.
I would like you to dramatically change that voice.
But I was trying to be dramatic.
I didn't like it.
Well, I've changed.
Okay. Thanks. All right.
Before we move on, I do want to call out something that I think is kind of weird about Leagues Cup.
Okay. I feel like the reason we have an outline
Yeah, you're right.
is to put things in it that we're going to talk about. But sure, you go ahead.
I just
what's weird
remembered
about
it.
the Leagues Cup?
So I just remembered it because we were talking about the Mazatlan game, and what I remembered being weird is the way that they played music during the keeper kicks as a way to like drown out the potential homophobic chant. And I would counter that a more successful way to drown out the homophobic chant would be to remove people who do it from the stadium.
Yeah. I think that's accurate.
I just
And
wish.
is this like a debate or a plea?
Yeah, it's just a plea. Like
Yeah.
I just think the right.
You looked at me like I had some response that wasn't just total agreement.
No, I think it's disheartening to see all this like effort put into delivering such a great tournament. That's such a fun idea and it's so cool. And to like go halfway with some of these measures feels like they're not not valuing that problem enough, I guess. Like if there are places where this is an issue, then more security should be hired to be able to handle that. And that should be the way that we do it as a league. And I know that this isn't like a, hey, let's get on a soapbox and talk about like real things all the time show.
No, but I think it's important.
But that's been eaten at me. And so, yeah, that's my Leagues Cup rant.
Are you ready to go to socials now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you want me to do this one first?
Since it says the thing that Mike went to, yes.
Great. So we being myself and Landon from Moontower Soccer, we went to the KUT Considers event where KUT had partnered with Austin FC to talk about some of the community impact and the way that Austin FC has integrated itself into the community here. And at that, they had Trennis Jones, the VP of Community Impact. They had Brad Stuver, and they had the R&B artist Malat. And they all three talked with KUT around kind of what it means to be a part of Austin and to kind of uphold the values of the community and the ways that they are doing that. And it was pretty neat. Trennis himself is a true son of Austin. He was born here. Apparently played high school and college basketball before getting into kind of the work side of sports, working with an NBA team and then in professional tennis, and now here with Austin. And so they talked a lot with Trennis around community involvement and a lot of the different things that the 4ATX Foundation is doing. And I just thought it was a really fun event. At one point they asked Brad, being a guy who has played on so many different teams, what it is about Austin that he really likes. And he was saying that as someone who is becoming older, that he sees kind of the change in his own responsibilities as he's become a starter and also a veteran at the same time, and kind of what that all means.
I guess that's an interesting career move.
Yeah, it was super interesting to hear about. And then he just got grilled the rest of the night about what it's like to be a retiree.
Oh no. Oh no.
So it was a fun event, though. It was really cool. Melat talked a lot about how Austin FC partners with local artists in the way that, Austin kind of says, hey, this is what we're hoping for from a thing. And we want you to do it because we trust your kind of artistic principles. And like the reason we asked you to partner with us in the first place is because of that. So it was super fun. And then they turned all the questions out to the audience. And someone at one point asked Melat, like, who on the team would you most like to collab with? She wants Diego and Driussi to be in her next music video. Brad thinks that Driussi would be a better dancer, even though Diego did Dancing with the Stars last year.
Oh no!
So that was a bit of a inside peek to the dressing room, maybe.
I hope they have dance parties. I would love that. I'm imagining it in anyway.
Yeah. That makes sense. That feels like a thing to imagine.
So I hear you got to ask a question, though, Mike.
Oh, I did, yes. I asked, okay, you are king for the day, and you get to fix one of the following 3 problems, but you can only pick one. Are you going to fix MLS roster rules?
Okay.
Or MLS refereeing? Or the price of beer at the stadium?
Ooh.
The entire audience started screaming out, the price of beer, fix the beer. And at the same time, what I think might have gotten missed in the commotion is Brad leaned into the microphone and goes, there's only one answer. And then Melat gave the most like presidential, those are all 3 really good questions, really good problems to solve. I think they're all very important. And, I think it's up to us to really go after them.
That's not an answer?
Correct. But it was very quickly passed off to Trennis.
Okay.
And Mr. Jones had a strong answer. He said, I wouldn't want to fix because it implies that it's broken, but I would like the ability to ask why when a referee makes a decision.
I also would like that ability.
Yeah, I think it's a great call, right? Like, oh, I called this because X. Like, what I thought happened was this. But like, that was an impassioned answer from a reasonable perspective.
Well, it's also, it's a kind of an actionable answer. Obviously not, like, that's not going to happen, but it's not like, oh, I want to fix all referees. It's like a thoughtful way to address that, and also to answer, fix the referees.
Well, and like, there is an existing mechanism for this. Like, reporters can write in to pro referees and ask them for clarification.
Mike, we are reporters.
But the answers they get back are, the referee saw this and made the call. And so it's useless.
Yeah.
Which I think is like, maybe that's the thing to fix from Trennis's perspective, is like make that appeal, or like...
that you have to answer.
Yeah, like valuably, right? Mm-hmm. And then it did finally get to Brad Stuver, who just leaned into the mic and said, I'm only here so I don't get fined. Which I think is the safest way to avoid that question.
Yeah. Yeah, well, we all know there's only one answer, so.
Yeah, apparently. That was kind of in the like structure of the question, though, is that you only get one. And so I thought it was interesting that he didn't actually pick one.
I feel like he did. In his heart. All right, speaking of my heart, you ready to talk about the meet and greet?
Of course.
So this week we went to the Austin FC player meet and greet at the stadium, and we were prepared. So they sent out the list of stations, and Mike actually has like a meaningful thing that he's been trying to get signed. He's got his inaugural season jersey, and he's trying to have all of our players who were signed in that first season on the jersey.
Yeah, it's going to be tough, but I feel like when I make my pilgrimage down to Argentina to get Tomas Pochettino's signature, I can just like stop in Paraguay on the way by and get Romagna's before coming home. So
yeah. Yeah.
Those are going to be tough.
Yeah, but we'll make it happen. So we looked at the list, and based on all of that information and the stations presented, obviously we went to the Rodney table first.
Yes, that's why.
Yes. So
Certainly it's not any other reason.
I've never been like really an autograph person. I just haven't been. And so like the last one we went to, I just didn't bring anything. I just was there to meet and greet. On Wednesday, though, I was like thinking about it, and the idea struck me that I could just simply bring the Rodney Reddes as a saint prayer candle that Mike got me this year. And so I did.
Yeah, how'd that go?
Well, I was really nervous. I was really sweaty in line because I was like, this could go one of two ways. Like, he could think it was funny, or he could think it was sacrilegious. And I was really nervous that might be the case, and it wouldn't land, and I wouldn't be able to explain it properly and in English or in Spanish, and it would just be a disaster. So I was really, really nervous. So we get up there.
Wait, Duolingo isn't teaching you how to
apologize for sacrilegious memorabilia?
How to have religious conceptual conversations? Duo, fix it.
Yeah. In my 1,011-day streak, I haven't gotten to that yet.
Huh. Must be the next unit, I'm sure.
Yeah, next one. So, when we were looking at the list, I was interested to see who would be next to Rodney. I thought it would be Jossie.
I thought for sure it would be Johan Valencia.
Turns out it was both of them. He was in the middle of the two. So it starts with Johan, and Mike puts out his thing to sign or whatever, and I get to Rodney, and I just like meekly hold the candle out, and his face like lit up. It took him a second to process, but he did this like wow face and then immediately turned it to Valencia to show him.
It was amazing.
It was the best reaction I ever could have dreamed of. And then, so he signs it and he laughs and he's thrilled. And then he passes it to Jossie because they were just passing things down. And Jossie like tried to hand it back to me after also laughing. And I was like, I mean, like it's a team candle, so go for it. So they passed it down the line, and it was incredible to get to watch everyone's faces. Nick Lima signed right next to Rodney's face.
Yep. He also had a question for you.
He also asked, do they make these of every player?
And y'all, if you want a Nick Lima prayer candle and you can't find one, let Steph know.
I will Photoshop it. I said, I'm sure I can find one if you want it. And he was like, no.
Nick,
yes. Nick,
if you want one, it's okay. It's okay to say yes. My dude.
Oh my God, it was so funny. It was so great.
Oh, it was so fun.
Everyone was laughing. We took it to the other room because then it was Ring in there that you needed.
Yeah, I needed Alex Ring and I needed Jean Colmanich.
That's right. So we went into that room, put it in front of Alex Ring. I handed it to him like with the back out where it was just like the white candle.
Did you?
Yeah.
You're such a baby.
He signed it and then like turned it around. And then as soon as he saw what it was, when he passed it down to Will Bruin next to him, he made sure to turn it so that Rodney was facing Will Bruin so that he could see what it was. In that room, though, the biggest fan was Leo.
Yeah, Leo Väisänen lost his mind over the Rodney candle.
Hits Maxie on the arm. It's like slapping Maxie to get him to pay attention and look at it.
It was so good. It was so fun.
Yeah, and then the end of that row was Hector, who smelled it, said, hasn't been used much, huh?
Yeah, and I was like, no, our dude hasn't gotten that many starts.
And Hector goes, say less.
Say less.
And just hands it right back to me.
Oh, it was so fun.
Oh my gosh. Everyone was such a good sport. It was so fun. It was so funny. It was like just a great experience.
Yeah, it was a really fun day out at the stadium. And then there was a watch party for the U.S. women's national team playing against the Netherlands, which also was really, really fun. I think the thing that surprised me the most is how many people stayed for that match.
I'm really happy with how many people stayed.
It was pretty late. It's a school night. There were kids everywhere. Like, it was really, really cool. And so I had a lot of fun being there. I got to hang out with friend of the show, Jessica Luther, and her friend Amira, who were both amazing. I only fanboyed a little bit. So, like, I played it pretty cool all night.
Yeah, okay. I believe you.
Listen, it's hard. And, like, it was really, really fun. And it was a cool event. And I didn't even mind that it was a 1-1 draw at the end because I had so much fun being there.
I'm glad. I'm glad they did it. I'm glad so many people stayed. I think it's really important. A lot of people were like, why would they do the meet and greet on the same night as a women's game? Well, first of all, I don't think scheduling was intentional. Second of all, I think they did a really good job capitalizing. They wouldn't have been able to get that many people to the stadium just for a watch party for the women's game. And I think it's so crucial to keep reinforcing how important this World Cup is. And this was a great way to do it.
Yep. +1.
All right. Couple just straggler social media.
A few quick hits.
Quick hits. My favorite Instagram story of the year, posted by Julio Cascante's wife. Just a silly picture of the two of them after the Mazatlan game. Julio went home and got drunk. Like, it just, we all feel it.
Right.
And her caption was, "When your mocktails come with shots." And it made me laugh a lot. I think she's so cool. And I'm really hopeful that we can convince her to come on the show.
Yeah, honestly, if you are out there searching for the love of your life, get you somebody who loves you the way that Julio and his wife love each other.
Yeah, it's the best.
Oh, it's so good. Also, we want to call out Danny's return of the Cisco thong song haircut. God, it's fire. It's
I love
so
it.
good.
It fits his personality so great.
Oh my God, 100%. It's perfect. It's perfect. It's perfect.
All right, and then my final little social standout thing is the club is committed to doing different tones or filters on different like tournament posts. So MLS is all full color. We remember the sepia disaster.
Wow, it was fine.
It was sepia.
It's fine.
So the Leagues Cup social vibes are black and white, which I mentioned earlier, and I think is kind of cool to keep that consistently separated on the feed.
Yeah, it's a good way to be able to tell, this is Leagues Cup content. This is, general content. This is whatever. I also wanted to pour one out today for our dearly departed Amro Tarek.
Oh,
may your poolside selfies live on forever. And may that in time be the only thing we remember you for.
Yeah.
And then also one more pour one out memory for someone that I will miss more is Jackson Walty from our Austin FAcito team, our Austin FC2 defensive midfielder, has been traded to Colorado where he can go be another team's dad. And I am sad to see it happen. More concerned about who will man the grill for those boys during the cookout. Please tell me that someone on that team can cook. Or they're going to starve.
Uh-oh.
Steph, you've got a note here.
Yeah, we're wrapping things up. And we were talking about this the other day. The Barbie movie just came out, and we haven't seen it yet, but we're really, really excited for it. And we tossed around the idea of who do you think is the most likely to be dressed up like Ken for Halloween?
Yeah, last week we talked about who would you most want to go on a road trip with. We got some listener responses to that, which I think was really, really fun.
Yeah.
Shout out to ATX Bike Girl, who let us know that Damian Loss would be her choice for a road trip, even with the knowledge that he would be so intense during like car bingo or like license plate. What's the alphabet game race that you play on a long car road trip?
I don't know.
Have you never played the?
No.
Okay, we got work to do.
Oh boy.
But anyway.
Yeah. Who do you think is most likely to be dressed as Ken for Halloween?
I'm going with Ethan Finley.
I'm going with Jossie.
Okay. I think we're going with the with both of them for the same reason, aren't
Because
we?
they're the daddest of dads and will
Yeah.
do anything to dad.
Yeah. Both of them have daughters, and both of them are dads.
Yeah. I feel like Jossie's got the bleached hair already. He's got that Ken hair. He's got the smile. He's so happy. He just looks like if you built a perfect doll, it would be Jossie.
I would like to refer you back to the Leagues Cup photo
Please don't.
of Ethan Finley and tell me that hair is not a Ken doll hair.
Interesting point.
Thank
I
you.
don't know if Ethan Finley has enough whimsy to dress as Ken.
He dressed as Butter for Halloween. This is a whimsical man. You watch your tone.
All right. Well, speaking of Ethan Finley, he is the man of my shirt this week. He, besides his impeccable goal celebration, he has a birthday coming up. And I just want to wish you a happy birthday, Ethan. You and you alone.
Wow.
Also me.
Y'all, if you have fun listening to the show, rate, review, and subscribe. We take 5 stars.
Yes, please.
If you don't have fun listening to this show, please rate, review, and subscribe. We still take 5 stars.
Yes, please.
We love you. Thank you so much, and we'll see you in 2 weeks.
Bye.